Hey guys, Neil Charlie Sparkle here. I'm back with another video. Um, Sorry if the camera's kind of shaky. Um, well, we just recently said goodbye to Tony Stewart in NASCAR before the end of the season back in November. And it kind of reminded me of last year when we had to say goodbye to another famous driver who was more famous than Tony Stewart. That his name was, well, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? Um, that was a Team Bomber Sport reference. Um, yeah, so this is pretty much my entire Jeff Gordon diecast collection. Let's take a look at the first diecast in the collection. So this is pretty much, believe it or not, one of my first ever NASCAR diecasts that I ever got. This came with a Hot Wheels track. It was a little, I think it was like a figure 8 jump or whatever of Jeff Gordon. And this was the car that came with it. And this was actually one of my first Jeff Gordon cars. I actually don't remember why I painted the bottom of that red. Unless that was Sharpie. I think that might have been a red Sharpie. I don't know. But this was one of my first Jeff Gordon cars. It was actually one of my favorites too. But as you can see, the wheel, it's pretty much beat up, especially on the left side there. The wheels are bent. It barely rolls anymore. The right front tire doesn't roll anymore. It just skids. Yeah. So that was my first ever diecast of Jeff Gordon. Well, one of my first. And then he moved on to this. Well, this is one of my other Jeff Gordon cars. I had a bunch over the years, but some of them I got rid of. This is one of my favorites of all-time Jeff Gordon cars. Oh, holy crap, there's still tape stuck to this. What the heck? Huh. Anyway, this is Jeff Gordon's DuPont Camouflage car from 2000. I used to think this was a 2010 because it came out in 2010, but everyone was saying that it's 2010, but actually it's a 2009. It was a 2009 car, but a 2010 box. So get it right, people. But yeah, this was one of my favorite Jeff Gordon cars. I actually don't remember I don't think I ever saw him racing in this at all. I'll have to look it up on YouTube when he raced him. And then that diecast brings me to this. Pretty much one of my all-time favorite Jeff Gordons as well. His number 24, 2010. That's right, 2010 DuPont Chevrolet. I actually feel bad about getting this beat up. I tried not to get it as beat up as possible, but part of the spoiler here, you can't really tell, but part of the well, actually it's the wing, sorry. The wing kind of got bent a little bit because it got crushed or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, this was one of my favorite. It's a really cool paint scheme. I mean, it's black with a red and yellow and blue outlined fire flame, and it's just DuPont, and it's just really cool. I mean, it was just one of my favorite all-time Jeff Gordon cars. It's just an amazing car. And now this diecast leads me to this. Now this car was in the 2012 Sprint, Budweiser Shootout. I've seen that race countless and countless times on YouTube, and this is one of my all-time favorite Jeff Gordons as well, because it was, I think, believe it or not, this is pretty much one of my top favorite Drive to End Hunger cars, and this was the first and only Drive to End Hunger car that I've ever gotten. And it's just an amazing diecast. I've used this in countless leagues. He's gotten a few wins in my leagues with it, but he's never won a championship in my leagues. And this car leads me to, and this is actually my first Jeff Gordon Spin Master, which this car leads me to this badass, amazing paint scheme. Jeff Gordon's Pepsi Max black and blue fire flame car. I just love how the flames are black with a blue outline. It really makes Jeff Gordon's cars have always stood out compared to any other paint scheme out there, other than like Dale Earnhardt's paint scheme back in the day, or Dale Jr. or something like that. But Jeff Gordon's paint scheme was just so amazing. And this is actually one of my favorite Jeff Gordon diecasts too. I've had so many over the years, but this diecast was just really, really amazing to me. And that's why this diecast also leads me to this. This car was just so. I've only seen this car race a couple times. I believe this is. Yeah, this is a 2012. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this car raced at Pocono. I think it also raced at Talladega one race. I don't know. I don't really remember what races this car raced at, but this was a really cool looking paint scheme, and also it's 20 years right there. There was a I didn't really watch too many races where he drove this, but this was a really cool paint scheme. I've used this paint scheme a couple times on NASCAR Inside Line for Xbox 360. I've used this paint scheme before. It's a really cool paint scheme. I think I raced with this paint scheme a couple times at Martinsville and Phoenix, and then I think I raced it once at Talladega. Well, a couple times at Talladega and then once at Daytona. But yeah, this was a really cool paint scheme. One of my all-time favorite Jeff Gordon cars too. And this car leads me to this car. This is his Exalta Jeff Gordon throwback car. It wasn't a throwback car for Darlington, but it was his retro car. Retro, that's what it was. His retro, because it was his final year in 2015. And a lot of you could be asking me, well, why would you open that? Well, it was a NASCAR Authentics, but I mean, I know it's very special and stuff like that. It was really special to Jeff Gordon. This was what made him popular, was his rainbow car. And it's just he really did get some good wins with that paint scheme. And I think he raced his car at Bristol once this year. Well, actually, I'm sorry, not this year, 2015. And I think that might have been the only race that he raced with this in. But it was a really good paint scheme, and that's why it also leads me to this paint scheme. This car came out in Wave 2 of 2015. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, 2016. I'm sorry, 2016. It was one of the 2015 cars, and as you can see on the back, these are the cars that came out with Wave 2. The only cars that I have out of this wave are these two. Actually, I have two of that one. And see, I kept one. I bought one to keep in the box, and that's why I am a Jeff Gordon fan, because I mean he's basically one of the guys that made the sport what it is, and that's why this leads me on to this next diecast. And this next diecast, actually, there's two of them. This car I got before I got this one. This one, actually, there's kind of a mistake on it. The 24 and the 3M line are crooked on the roof, but that's okay. I was thinking about opening that one at least for a extra Chase Elliott car, but I didn't, and I'm not going to, because I already have some Chase Elliott cars. But this car actually got canceled. Well, I mean, they had to take it after Wave 1 was released. They had to go back and take all of this car off the shelf. And it was really rare to get the one from Wave 1 because somewhere on here there was a Coors Light Pull Award. And that is a big no-no to add beer sponsors on the cars. So that's why it was taken off. And it was really rare. So then it didn't get released until one of the final waves of 2015. So, but it was actually, when it was re-released, they didn't have the Coors Light Pull Award, which sucks because I kind of wanted to get that with a Pull Award. I mean, come on, that could have been rare. But, no, this was actually one of my all-time favorite Drive Dan Hunger cars too. His other one was 2014. I liked his 2014, 2012, and 2015. But yeah, I mean, these were really cool paint schemes, but I know that he had a lot of bad luck in this car. So, and that's why it leads me on, and this leads me on to the next car. Alright, so the next couple cars that I am going to show you guys are a couple cars that my mom got at a street. I'm at a not an auction. Sorry, a street fair or something like that, where people go and they set up tables and they sell stuff like old antiques and things like that. What do you call those? My mom got me this one. I actually used to have one of these. It was open, but it was one of those Winter Circle build it yourself cars. I had that. That was one of the ones we built. This one is actually one of my favorite Jeff Gordon Pepsi cars of all time. His 4th of July car from 2000. I believe that is 2002. Yeah, 2002. 2002. This one was from 2001, but he raced it a couple times in 2002, I believe. And then this one is his. I heard this car is really rare. So is his Cookie Monster one. But this is a really rare Jeff Gordon car. My mom got this for me. I told her it was pretty rare, and she said, "Okay, keep it in the box." But this is one of my favorite Jeff Gordon paint schemes too, because I used to love Sesame Street when I was little. And but anyway, on to the next couple diecasts. The next couple diecasts are his 1998 Decade of Champions car from 1998. That was the year I was born. And apparently they did a bunch of these Decade of Champions cars with Baba the Bonnie, I believe, Dale Earnhardt, I'm sure. But I thought this was when he won the championship, because he won the championship back in 1998, I believe. So that was pretty cool, and that was the year I was born. And then also, this one is his $1 million bonus car. That was really special to me when I got that. That was another car that my mom got at the auction. Also, at the street fair, she got both of these. So that was really cool to get those. And then the next couple diecasts are his American Heroes Memorial Day car. America supports you. Department of Defense. His 2007 honoring our heroes car or whatever. So that was pretty cool. I know that they released also all of these. I never got my hands on Dale Jr. nor the 88 Navy from the Bush series. I really wanted to get that one. But that was pretty cool. And then this also leads me on to my last couple diecast. That leads me on to this. Now, a lot of these were released in 1998, and I think maybe 1999 or 97. I know it was released in 98. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Were these pit stall things from Winter Circle released in 97 and 99? I know they were in 98, but let me know if you guys know in the comments down below. But I didn't notice that I had this first one until after I decided to take this out of the box and connect it to it. But these were the two pit stalls that I had. Jeff Gordon's 1998, and then I don't know what year this was, his Pepsi car. That was pretty cool. And I'm an idiot for this, but I decided to unscrew the bottom and take it off. But now, and I didn't play with it. I swear I even checked it. There are no scratches on it, so it's totally okay. But I can't put it back in, of course. But those are my two pit stalls. And also, that kind of leads me to this. The Lego pit stalls. You guys have seen my tutorial video on how to make these. If you haven't, go back on my channel and check it out. This is my Jeff Gordon pit stall thing. I still got to make one for Chase Elliott, but for now, Chase Elliott's going to use this. And also, speaking of Jeff Gordon and everything, this kind of leads me to the last thing. The last one on my list is Jeff Gordon's Final Ride car. Now, of course, I didn't get the 24 Ever version where it had the Chase logo and everything on it. I kind of wish I did. But, I mean, oh well. That was pretty cool to get. I know that they released this car in Wave 1 of NASCAR Authentics for this year, but I never got my hands on it. I've seen it, but I didn't get it, and that's also what leads me on. Speaking of which, Jeff Gordon's last ride, this leads me on to the last three. Now, the last 3 diecasts I have of the 24 are Chase Elliott's Napa car from the Daytona 500. It wasn't a race version. Chase Elliott's Kelly Blue Book. And also the recent one that I got for Christmas, his Mountain Dew Baja Blast car. I might do a review on this car. But anyway, those are the last of the 24 cars that I got. I mean, Jeff Gordon has always been a champion. He always will be. But, I mean, that's pretty much all the diecasts that I have of Jeff Gordon. If y'all went on to like the video, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. And also if you guys, also so you guys don't miss any videos from me. Thank you. And thank you for almost 75 subscribers. Thank you very much. And also, like I said, have a good New Year's. And please, like I said, subscribe. So, I'll see. So, like I said, comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Deuces.